comedian coming up. He is originally from Texas, from Dallas, and he's a performer, a visual artist. He's got a bachelor's from the University of California in Irvine. He's appeared in television, film. He's about to release his third book. Make a whole lot of noise for JaMarlin Fowler, everybody.
Yay!
Thank you, everybody. My name is JaMarlin Fowler. I'm a 36-year-old artist, originally from Dallas, Texas. I'm currently in Scottsdale, Arizona with my son, who is kind of helping me with filming because I have nowhere to kind of hold my phone right now. But yes, my name is JaMarlin Fowler. My very first job was working at Taco Bell. Yes, Yo Quiero Taco Bell. That's right, Mexicans in the audience. I can speak 2 languages too. What's up? So my very first job was working at Taco Bell, but then I decided to move to Arizona and pursue education. So because I moved to Arizona from the South, I realized there's no Black people in Arizona. So I had to assimilate with other cultures, and Mexicans were the closest things to Black people I could find. And the reason why I assimilated with Mexicans is because you can't really categorize a Mexican, right? They're Black sometimes and they're white other times. For example, white people will get drunk after work. Black people will get drunk on our lunch breaks, but Mexicans will get drunk while they're working. And that is awesome. They have their beer 30s and their beer 45s. I actually asked one of my friends, I'm like, when do you get work done? And they're like, that's what the illegal ones are for. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But you learn different things, like, as you travel around the country. Like, I'm on the road right now, like I said, in Scottsdale, Arizona with my son. But in Tucson, they do things, and in Phoenix, they do things differently than in the South. Like, my mother used to make the Kool-Aid with the fruit cut up in it, and she would freeze it sometimes. It was delicious. But when I moved out here and I went to one of my Mexican friends' house and I saw the same thing, I started drinking it. And it was the best Kool-Aid I ever had. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And they're like, JaMarlin, it's not Kool-Aid, it's sangria. I'm like, is that Spanish for Kool-Aid? And they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's like Mexicans get stereotyped just like Black people do, right? I mean, you see a bunch of Black people together, we're a gang, right? Depending on where you are, we're a gang, right? But you see a bunch of Mexicans and it's a workforce. It's like, how does that work? So when I moved down to the University of California, Irvine, I was saying jokes like, Yo Quiero Taco Bell. And the Mexicans pulled me aside and they're like, JaMarlin, look, you're around a bunch of Mexicans now and you need to learn that in Spanish, we don't pronounce the R's, we roll our R's. So it's not Yo Quiero, it's Yo Quiero. Otro mismo yo entiendo es necesario que nosotros roll our R's when we say that word because there are no R's in Spanish. So, and it's great because I studied 4 years of Spanish just around, but specifically at the University of California, Irvine. And now I can go into Mexican restaurants and I can actually order food in Spanish. But, Mexicans think I'm fucking with them. It's like, what's this Black dude coming in here speaking Spanish? So he doesn't really speak Spanish. It's like, ¿Dónde es el pinche salsa picante? And they're like, ¿Qué pasó? Sí, yo puedo hablar en dos idiomas. Es muy importante que nosotros podemos cambiar entre ambos. So right now, I just actually finished 6 degrees at LA Valley College. And by being a non-traditional student, because I'm 36 and I have an 11-year-old son who's recording this for me right now, I realized that the stratification in community colleges are so different. Like we have X, Y's, and Z's, right? I'm Generation Y because I'm a millennial. My son is Generation Z. And then the professors and some of the older college people that are coming back are, in their 30s or in their 40s. So what I learned is old people are just stuck in their ways. Like they just don't know any better. And the young people are just spoiled. Like even my son right here is spoiled. I tell him that all the time. He doesn't believe me, but he is. Like, and I'll give you an example. If there are any millennials in the audience now, if you're a millennial parent, you will definitely understand what I'm saying to you. Because I remember, and I was telling this because we were watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Last night. I was like, son, when I wanted to watch a Saturday night morning cartoon, I had to Friday night plug in that raggedy-ass VCR, program the time in, have to remember if daylight savings time was going to pop up, and I don't advance it an hour, and I end up watching church instead. I was like, son, if I went to school the next week, and I didn't know what was going on. When I asked my friends, I was like, what's going on? What happened to Yugi? What's going to happen next? And they would all give me bad information. I got 1 minute left. They would all give me bad information. And my son's holding the phone, so give me a break, people. So I would go in, they would tell me different things. And they're like, I would come home the next week, and it would be like, none of the stuff that they told me was right. And you're like, These motherfuckers lied to me. So, but like my son is different because like he gets to binge watch everything. We were on Netflix last night, and it's like he's on his 26th episode. He's on his 26th episode of Yu-Gi-Oh in like 3 days. I'm like, son, you are so smart. I'm like, you are saving so much time that I have to just give away to watch cartoons. You are so lucky, and I hope you enjoy this because time is the most valuable thing that you have. So speaking of time, that is my time, and thank you everybody, and have a good night.
Yeah. Woo! Hell yeah! Keep it going for JaMarlin, everybody.